What's going on YouTube? Welcome to my YouTube channel. All right, it's been a busy past couple weeks, and I'm going to show you in this video how I was able to increase my eBay sales by almost 22% in the last 30 days. And we're first going to start by showing you the proof. Proof is in the pudding, as they say. So here we are. There it is. Last 31 days, 21.9%. I would say that's 22%. And today we sold that Rolex bezel, that 18 karat gold bezel. So really good day in sales, but just the past week have been pretty decent. And ever since Thanksgiving, which is to be expected. So most of you guys that watch my channel, or you found this because you're a reseller, you should have had a really good week. You should have had really good sales since Thanksgiving, or even before Thanksgiving, if you're doing everything right. So I been on eBay on this particular account for over 10 years. And just want to show you here. I got 6,104 positive feedback. I don't beg people for feedback. I sometimes usually write thank you notes for when they make larger purchases like coins and stuff like that. But here we are. We got 100% positive feedback, top rated seller. And as far as listings go to that here. We've got a lot of stuff listed on eBay. 1,739 items active on eBay with almost $34,260 worth of stuff. And a lot of the stuff is not very expensive, but when I do find something really expensive, I get a little extreme. So I just made a video on shipping the Rolex 18 karat gold bezel. I did extra insurance and paid about $20 to ship that out, even though the buyer only paid for something. But anyways, wanted to get into my store here to kind of show you what has sold. And I've been listing a lot of toys lately. So we'll go in here. So last night I decided to list 30 toys. So we've got some, here, let me get my head out of here. You don't need to see my head the entire time. But listed some toys. So bought a toy lot from a YouTuber and through an auction. And here are some of the toys. When you are listing toys, it's very important to kind of know what you're buying ahead of time so you don't overpay. But I got about $1 per figure. Is a little short guy here, but he is an official 14 years old here. This is Hornswoggle. But basically what I want to show you is that when you are taking photos of toys, some sellers just take 2 photos, and it's like, you know what? It's not good enough, because people that buy toys, condition is everything. So I will take photos of every single angle, just like you would look at the toy if you had it in hand, if you were in front of the particular seller about to make a decision. And I basically just pose the figure and take photos of what you would want to see for wear and things like that. So definitely take really clear photos of your items. I do recommend getting a light box. A little Ratty Piper. I do run promotions, so I'll just go with whatever eBay recommends. I'm okay if I got like $1 into the item, I'm asking 25. I'm all right giving eBay an extra $2.50 on top of the $2. Like, I'm okay giving eBay $5 if they get someone to buy toys from me, like on this particular Hornswoggle one. But here's all the wrestlers. We found a 1993 Kenner Riddler, some newer Batman or Robin here. Independence Day from 1996. I thought that'd be worth a lot more, but it's only worth $6. And then this guy had Erdl on the bottom of it. I'm the only one on eBay listing this particular figure. Then we got some Bandai made Naruto. So if you guys see this kind of stuff out there, anime is a big deal in the area I live. I live in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, and there is a huge Japanese grocery store And in that grocery store, they sell toys, but they actually have a separate bookstore that has expanded, and it's a pretty major destination. And you wouldn't believe the prices on some of this stuff because they get it like straight from Japan. So it's kind of a cool experience. You go into a grocery store and it's like you're shopping in Japan, but all the prices are in USD. I had no idea what these guys were. I just thought they looked cool. Uh, Definitely don't recognize this because my toys are from the mid 80s when I was 10 years old. So I don't even think my brother would be into this. This is more for someone that's probably 30. And these are pretty cool detailed toys. When your toy actually has the weapon, it is okay to ask a little bit more. Just make sure it's the appropriate weapon. Here's a Jakks Pacific Dragon Ball Z. Very cool character. Gotta love the hairdo on this dude. And I'll always list probably lower than anybody else on eBay because, again, I only have $1 into it, and I'm not one of those resellers that has to get top dollar and won't negotiate or whatever. I'm just here to buy stuff, resell it, so the new buyer has a great experience and they can relive their childhood. Most adults that collect toys don't really play with them, but they want to buy them because now they can afford them. Is a really cool piece here. This actual item here is a very expensive trading card too. It's a hollow. I think there's like a $300-$400 card in a PSA 10, but I have no clue about Yu-Gi-Oh. I use Google Lens to look up my stuff. It's a very odd shaped figure. I did try replacing the batteries. The item no longer works, which is to be expected from however long ago that was from. More Knights, and then I had some accessories. So these are like wrestler vests for some of the wrestler toys that you saw. So sometimes it makes more sense just to sell the accessories separate. And these are not very new or very old. It's 2019. I mean, this is like 5 years old. But chances are someone has this figure and their vest is jacked up and they want a new vest. So someone will pay $5 for it. There's a Burger King toy here. Again, Dragon Ball Z. Very cool toy. I would have been happy to get that as a kid 14 years ago. And then we have some vintage Power Rangers. This is a very vintage Yu-Gi-Oh. I think it's when Yu-Gi-Oh first came out. So this is one of the bad guys. And when you push the button here, the axe hand goes up and down. And that definitely works. So a lot of these toys are in very nice condition. And he's $30 just because of condition and the rarity. This guy here I thought would be more expensive, but you can actually get brand new ones of this guy in $30. But I was happy when I replaced the batteries. I don't know, guys. Like, are you one of those resellers that actually do enjoy replacing the batteries? Although it takes like 5-10 minutes sometimes to find the batteries. So, but I actually do enjoy it, and I really enjoy it when the toy still works. Not so much when I put the batteries in and the toy no longer works. Then it's like, oh, what a complete waste of time. But some Mystic Knights, little Harry Potter dude. So I'll even list guys with one arm. And then here's more accessories. This Ninja Turtle, Raphael spits out pizzas. No idea how to change batteries in that. Headset here. Weapons, comics, old Shredder from the original 1988. Some keychains. Oh, and don't sleep on ugly sweaters. So I picked this up for $5. It's completely ugly. It's not a Christmas ugly, but it is ugly. Ugly in the manner of, like, this was really cool in the 90s, but I just thought it was neat. It's got real wood buttons, and this was all handmade. I don't know if it's handmade here in the United States, but very, very cool. Granny sweater, I guess. And I'm probably like half the price of what most people, and no one's got this particular style listed, but some of these, like if they're in perfect condition, they'll go for $100. So if you see something like this at your thrift store or at a garage sale and they only want like 2, 3, maybe even $5, jump on it. They don't make like hand knit, like they don't make stuff like this anymore. More weapons, some Star Wars. It's my daughter's jacket. She just like handed it to me. So all my kids know I eBay stuff. So it's a nice Calvin Klein jacket we got for her freshman year of high school. She's now 23. So I'm like, yeah, if you don't wear it anymore, it's just taking up space in the closet. But it's actually in really nice condition. I don't think she wore it much. And then some other items. So that's what I've listed. So 1,600 listings. And again, it's kind of overwhelming if you're like, man, I got to get up 1,600 listings right away. It ain't going to happen. It might take you a year to do that, because while you are listing, you're also selling. And when you're selling, you have to make sure you get your items out to the people as soon as possible. So just selling stuff, yes, it's easy to do on eBay if you take good photos, but you do also want to get the items out as soon as possible. So here's some of the items I sold. This was the fluted bezel. I've got a whole separate video series on this. When I found it, when I got it authenticated, and then it finally sold. I believe I sold to someone that works in the Diamond District in New York. But this particular item is getting delivered to a UPS store. Almost PO boxes. I actually recognize this weapon. I had this as a kid. This came with a female character called Zarana. I think she was one of the dreadnoughts. And I always thought that was a cool weapon. And I bit these when I was a kid. Sold the Morgan Silver Dollar. I sell Morgan Silver Dollar or coin collecting books. So if you see these books out in the wild, if you see one of these books and it's empty and it's got all the nice plastics and it's in good shape, even if it's written inside, obviously don't pay a lot for it, but I pay $10 for these all day long at my local coin shop, because they'll purchase large collections and they'll put these books on the shelves. They won't give the seller any money for the book, but they're happy to sell it to me for $10, and then I sell it for 21, and I probably made $9 profit on that, which is easy. Another ugly sweater. I picked this one up for $5. This is actually a vest, but it is Victoria Jones. It's petite, so it's very small. But the detail on this stuff, I mean, someone had to actually what do you call this, embroider. And it's not perfect. There's like little pieces missing, but overall it still is in awesome shape. And when I wash these, I hand wash them, and I used a very light detergent, like a Woolite. I think I used like a Tide Free and Clear. And also car emblems. So if you find at a garage sale or an estate sale and someone has a bunch of emblems that they took off their old car, or they were in the process of, rebuilding a car. I don't know what Caballero is. I think with some sort of GMC, but this was like the little badge that would go on the side of the car. But that stuff is easy money, and sold those three really quick within about a week. Probably because like everyone else asking like $20. I'm like, dude, it's a car emblem. Like, help a brother out if they're restoring the car. Don't rip them off. I still have a big giant box of these. I picked this up at a garage sale in the summer. And these are all brand new. So the story in this one is the guy knew somebody that worked at Goodwill, and they had these at Goodwill for $2. This was like Goodwill 20 years ago. But this is a famous restaurant here in Wheeling, Illinois. It's still in business. YKK zipper. It's literally made out of Tyvek. So it's a very, very 80s or 90s vintage look. They're all size medium, but they're all brand new. So happy to sell those for $20. I seriously have a box of like over 200. So although I don't show that I have 200 available, because I want to make it sound a little more rare, but I think I've sold 3 of these, which is cool. I think I'm like into these, each one of these like a quarter. Some old fashioned jewelry. So what I'll do with my fashion jewelry, I will clean it. I bought a professional ultrasonic cleaner, and you don't have to buy any special chemicals, just a little bit of Dawn dish soap, the good Dawn dish soap, the most expensive one. Mix it with water, and then this ultrasonic cleaner actually heats up the water, so it's pretty hot. And then you dip your jewelry in there, and you hit a little button in it, and you wait like 5 minutes, and it cleans the jewelry. It gets all off the grease, the lotions, things like that. Some old clothes. This wrestler piece sold the same day. And again, it's not that old, but it's I don't know. I thought it was like Undertaker's outfit, but it's not. It's 2022 and someone paid $9. So obviously like somebody had found this toy and whatever, they need the jacket. And I'm the only guy on the internet that has the jacket. Maybe the jackets get like ripped up by kids. This tag's completely ripped off. I paid $3 for this. This did have some like Santas on there. Really nice. It had stains. I couldn't get the stains out. I didn't want to like scrub really hard. So I did mention there were stains, but and I pointed them out with my finger. But overall, like it like most people are having like ugly Christmas sweater parties, young and old. So this particular item, I was happy for that to go. And that sold really, really fast, under a week. Got some cool, again, not silver, but silver toned. So when you're listing fashion jewelry, you definitely want to make sure you have it in the right category, under fashion, not under fine. I always weigh it, I measure it, just make sure everybody's happy. And this was the last Barbie here. So I picked up a lot of Barbies, 4 of them total. They're all like these fashion ones from the 90s. They were complete, except one was missing a shoe. This was the last one. So I'm $7.50 into each one of these Barbies, but they sold very, very fast because I was not asking $50, $40, $80 for them. But people like to buy these and display it. So this is like a display piece type Barbie. Very, very cool FUBU jacket. I thought this would sell for more. I guess I'm watching tech and sports too much, but I just thought this item was cool. I paid up for it. I think I paid like 10, 15 bucks for this jacket. And this was at some Polish lady's house. She was selling a lot of really expensive tools. So I got some cool hats. And she said her husband used to be on like a rowing team or something in Poland. And this is one of his jackets he bought back in the day. It was in awesome condition. And FUBU, if you don't know, is that brand that, what's his name, on the Shark Tank? That's how he got his millions. So it crosses over to like a wrap category. So someone bought this to either they really like the jacket and they're going to use it for what it is, or probably bought it as a fashion statement. You just can't find stuff like this nice. So more of a hip hop type thing. It's got some nice stitching and stuff in there. So if you see an old FUBU jacket, it looks cool. Even if they want 15 bucks, I would pay 15 bucks for it because I sold mine for 120. Old money clip. This Pokemon Mega Block set here I picked up. I think I spent 10 on it at one of the auctions. I guess it's complete, but I said I wasn't really sure. A lot of these bags were sealed, so that's why I paid up for it. If you see this little old Nintendo bag, this one was weird. I had like 30 watchers on it. It is a little damaged, but this used to something I bought for my daughters for their original DS system. And it's a little purse that you can keep your DS in. So that sold. I knew this would sell right away. This is a beautiful looking, even though this is not gold whatsoever. Might be gold plated, but this was a beautiful brooch. Again, probably have like 50 cents into that. I did get to sell one. Coins, pick these up. But, I think it's going on 2 years now. I have like 34 cents into these farthings. Bought a huge lot, and a lot of these were really nice. So always happy when every now and then I'll sell one, especially for 27 bucks. Like that's a huge profit on something like that. Another album, some old keychains. This Batman car was really cool. There's an animated series. So I guess in 1993, the animated Batman, which they're kind of like dark cartoons. I wouldn't really say they're for children, although I've seen them on Cartoon Network. And anyways, their toys are really cool. So like this whole cockpit comes out and transforms into some kind of like jet bat plane, which I didn't even realize until I started pushing buttons. I was like, wow, that's cool. So this thing was in really bad shape, but look at that. Like the thing comes out, like spikes out of the wheels. Like to me, I don't know, they're just cool. And I always show like the image. You always want to show, and then like seriously, like made in USA. Like you're not going to see that. So it's kind of like it's got the reliability of Tonka, but not really because it got damaged. Like those of us that are, 48 or older, like the original Tonka stuff, like that stuff would survive generations of kids. But still, very cool piece. And like even this part was like broke off. But again, I think I paid $3-4 for this, so got a $20 bill out of it. I'm happy with it. Although that was kind of a pain in the butt. I had to make a custom box to ship that out. Tyrannosaurus Rex copper round. Bought a bunch of those 2 years ago. Got $1 into each one of those, so it's nice to see those sell. Another car emblem, this Oldsmobile one. I think I'm like under $2 in these car emblems, so I bought a lot of them. And this is used too, but again, it's a nice shape and it is resellable, and hopefully someone puts that on their car, or they just like to collect old car emblems. An old Urban Outfitters, that's something for my daughters. Some springs, some more jewelry. Really nice Morgan coin. Sold all my Pokemon. I got this for free on my auction. It was like they pull like this card, and if you get a certain card, you get the item for free. So I thought that was cool. So I got this completely free and sold it for $17.95. I could ask like twice as much, but I don't want to be greedy. And little crisscross CDs. So guys, if you run across like old rap or hip hop or freestyle or dance music CDs from the 90s or late 80s, dude, grab them. They sell. People like the artwork and the old original hip hop. It's very, very popular. This old knife, I think I got $1 into that. Book. We had like a bin of books. We don't have a ton of books in the house because they weigh a lot. So always nice to sell a book. Old Monte Carlo. I mean, check that out. I got $1.94 into this. This is broken right here, but it still had the original. It was never used. So someone paid $18 for it because they probably have a really cool Monte Carlo and they're okay gluing that and using it as their car emblem. Here's another the Barbie. This you think is a Lexus, but it's a Luxus. It's actually from a Buick Century. It was like their higher end model. This is way before Lexus was even dreamed of. I don't think there were any real Hondas here. I'm sorry, Toyotas here much either back in the mid 70s. So kind of makes you wonder like, did Toyota steal Luxus? They just put an E in there right here. Lexus. No, it's Luxus. But sold that emblem really fast. That was one of the first emblems to sell. Some more albums. Another G.I. Joe part. Comic. This is one of my old basketball outfits. Very, very, very Y2K. Very shiny. And someone paid $20 for it, which I'm happy. Some salt and pepper shakers. I got $1 to these. These were brand new. So turn $1 into 10. 68 cents. I'm sorry, this was 68 cents because I lotted it all up. So I bought a bunch of these vintage little golden books. I don't know. I just think they're cool. So even though probably won't be listing $2 items anymore. This Buffalo nickel here, I think I got like 40 cents into. I bought a lot of them. So sometimes you'll find sellers on eBay that just sell bulk buy or a lot of like 100 Buffalo nickels, and they don't want to take the time to sort them or check for errors. But if you find dates or this is a Denver Mint, this is actually a hard to find coin, and good luck trying to find something like that in your coin shop. Most coin shops do not want to take the time to organize Buffalo nickels. And this was the only brass spoon from the silver spoon set that I picked up at a local garage sale back in August, so about 4 months ago. This cleaned up really, really nice, and happy to get $8. I think I've got less than $1 per spoon. And the other spoons, if they don't sell soon, I'll just take them to my local coin shop and they'll give me $3 per spoon for the silver weight because they're all sterling. This one was not. So more Buffalo nickels, old workout outfit. This is one of my old Adidas hoodies. Don't sleep on He-Man. He-Man, this is the old Skeletor sword. And it's just one part of the sword. And this part right here always breaks. So if you find one in the wild at a garage sale and this part is not broken, that, sir or ma'am, is a $15 bill all day long. And this is from 2004. This is like 20 years old now. I used to have a pool table I don't know why I kept all the balls, but they're in good shape. And I probably should have asked like 20 bucks for this, but I was like, you know what? They're heavy. They take up space. I want them to go away. And they sold the very next day. Of course they did, for $8. I mean, you can't buy pool set, real pool balls for under $20. And some old Christmas, 'tis the season, right, for Christmas. Some knives, an old Ford wrench. This Indian head, I thought, arrowhead, I thought would sell for more. I put that on auction, but whatever. I got 20 bucks for it. That was in the jewelry box too. So that jewelry box has definitely paid for itself. And I do actually like buying old vintage fashion watches, changing the batteries, cleaning them. Like I'll take the entire watch apart. I'll put the entire band, the glass, everything in the ultrasonic cleaner and clean it as best I can. This definitely has wear on it. You can see the gold plating is worn off, but anytime you see something with Japan movement, that means it's typically not what is it, quartz. So the Japan movements will last a very, very long time. They almost put a lot of the watchmakers out of business because they figured out a way to make watches last a lot longer. Some video games. Sold the Gucci slides. This is for my daughter in Florida. She gave me these to sell. The local resale shop there did not want them, which is weird because Florida is always hot, but these are brand new. And with the Gucci slides, you want to look inside here and you want to see this writing. So 37 is the size because they do everything in European dimensions, and you want to see this made in Italy sticker. But those were legit. That buyer was happy. Some jeans. I picked this Camelback backpack up. I paid $2 for it. It was brand spanking new. And I remember buying these for my daughters when they used to go to Lollapalooza concerts and stuff here. It was very important that they stay hydrated because they would charge you like 10 bucks for water at that concert. So for bottled water. And this is a way to stay hydrated or sneak in alcohol, whatever they were doing back then. And then don't sleep on the Spice Girls. If you find VHS, which I did on eBay, found a gentleman, all he did was sell car parts. I bought a bunch of sealed VHS from him. I don't know. He just probably wanted to get rid of it. Sometimes I'll be like that too. But I paid $54. I got over like 70 movies. So I got less than $1 into all these, and they were all brand new sealed, and that was with free shipping. But this one comes with a collector's poster. Maybe someone bought this to get it graded. I don't know. People are weird now. People are grading VHS. But that's pretty much it, guys. So I wanted to share with you what I'm doing to get my sales up. Tis the season to get sales up. Definitely list every single day if you can. And if you skip a day, that's okay. But if you skip a day and your goal is to get up 10 a day, then you want to list 20. Now, I listed 39 last night, so I'm kind of ahead, but that's just because when I get new stuff, I list it right away. So it always helps to be in a habit of when you actually do get something that you want to resell, list it right away. Because if you don't list it for sale, nobody knows that you have it for sale. Does that make sense? In your mind, you're like, wow, I made all this profit, but you don't really make any profit until you actually get it listed and sold. So people can't buy stuff from you if you don't get it out there. I did at the end of November, I did exceed my listing. So I've got a basic store subscription, which I think gives me, I don't know how many gives me a month, but check that out. I could list 10 million more items a month and up to $10 million worth of stuff. Like that's insane, but eBay doesn't give that one. Like you got to earn that. So they obviously want me to sell as much as possible. But if I truly wanted to replace my salary or my real job, I have to do at least, well, what do I have to make? I'd have to make like 30,000. Well, yeah, probably 15,000 in profit a month, which that would mean, let's see, if I made on average $15 profit times 15,000 a month. What is that, guys? 15,000 divided by 15. That would mean I would have to sell 1,000 items. So an average of 25. So yeah, I'd have to sell about 1,000 items. So I'd have to do like 25,000 in sales. Is that even right? 25,000 in sales. Let's do an even number. Let's do 300,000. Oh, 30,000 in sales times 12. 360,000. No, that wouldn't replace my salary. Basically, I'd have to do like 1 million in sales if I wanted to be happy. Because like at the end of the day, like your money's tied up in your inventory, this and that. So I would have to like 10x my store to replace the salary that I make at my job. Plus, you got to figure in taxes and benefits and all the stuff that my job provides me. So not quitting my job anytime soon. But those of you who are full-time resellers, um, your numbers should be blowing me away. So I am a part-time reseller. I do this for fun. I do this to make extra cash. I do this to pay for inflation. I do this to earn money for vacations, for gifts, you name it. But to me, it's fun. Now, if I had to do this 10 times more during the week and I didn't have a job, it wouldn't be fun anymore. It would be business. And I would completely change some of the things that I buy to resell. But in the meantime, I'm happy going to local estate sales, garage sales. Now those die off around here in Illinois. It gets really, really cold. So unless it's an indoor estate sale, you pretty much have to make sure you have enough inventory to last you through the wintertime, which I do. And then when the weather breaks, it gets a little bit nicer. You can get out there and get some really good deals. But anyone can do this. But if you're a full-time reseller, you better be doing like and I watch some other channels, you better be doing like at least 20,000 to 30,000 in sales per month. And that doesn't just mean like in volume, you better be making some good profit, especially if you have employees. You better be making over 10 grand in profit. You better have really low bills. Most people cannot live off of that in parts of the country. But if you're like out there and you don't have a lot of expenses and your rent's like $500, and you can make a good living too. Again, it all depends on where you live in this country. I'm very, very close to the post office, so that's why I offer same day or 24-hour shipping, because I will package the items and get them out right away. But anyway, sales are up. I've got everything promoted. I've got a sale running through the 5th, and everything's for sale. So I do run promotions. So one thing with marketing, when you do purchase the store subscription from eBay, you can list sales, and it'll kind of show you like what you're getting from sales. But I have a 15% off all coins and cards in my store, and that's running through December 9th. So I always have my sales end on a Monday, and then I did a 30-day long one, 20% off the rest of the items in my store. So you can see I've gotten 1,300 in sales since I started that sale, and from this one that I just started 2 days ago, I've got $97. So it helps get the things moving, but I could also see people getting in the habit of like, oh, I've got an $80 item, but I'm going to list on eBay for 100, and then I'm going to rest sale for 20% off. Well, that means that's okay, but just make sure your entire store is set up that way. So again, if you have an item that you know is worth $80 all day long, and you want to make it look like it's a promotion to get sales going, just make sure your other thousands of items that you're listing are also on the same premise, meaning you don't want to be giving away stuff that you don't have to. But I can see how that helps or hurts people as well. And sometimes people will look at something that's 20% off, and I'll still send them like another 5% off just to get rid of the item. You know, if I don't have a lot of money into it, I want sales. I want stuff to be gone. I want to be going to the post office with a bunch of packages. And my goal is $100 worth of stuff a day. And I have definitely achieved that for the most part. And there's days too where I don't sell anything, but I've definitely achieved that for the month. So in the last 31 days, $3,720 in total sales. Last 90 days, I've achieved that as well, because 100 times 90 is 9,000. So I'm definitely hitting my goal. The next goal will probably be doubling that or going 1.5 times. So I'd like to get at least 150 per day out, but that's going to require probably higher priced items or more volume on lower priced items, which again, time is money. So don't list a bunch of books for $3 and expect to make a killing. Even if you sell 1,000 books at $3, you're going to lose money because it costs more than $3 to ship a book, especially if you're offering free shipping. I don't get how the big, massive resellers can do that, but maybe I'm missing something. So anyways, guys, appreciate you guys watching this, and hopefully it helps you out. Get some sales, get some stuff going, and I'll catch you on the next one.